What's up, everybody? It's Michael Fletcher, and welcome to a special edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube.com. It is a Wednesday night edition, and I'm alongside Anthony Florio and Dee Woodson. Hopefully, Michael Bullock will get to join us in just a matter of minutes. Normally, I would do the routine of SmackDown Live first, then we would go into the Mikey's Mindset and go into Lucha Underground. However, as you notice on the title, we have a new Lucha Underground World Champion. He got crowned tonight. Therefore, I'm pulling a switch. I'm doing the Mikey's Mindset right here, right now. I'm not going to waste any time for it, guys. SmackDown Live will just start in just a matter of moments. I won't take too much time on Lucha Underground. But what happened tonight it needs to be talked about. This is unbelievable what happened. So let's backtrack into last week's episode, which was Dragon Azteca Jr. versus Ivalice for the Gift of the Gods title, which Dragon Azteca Jr. won the match. That's very important. That will come into play later on. Then King Cuerno and Mil Muertes, they fought for the number one contenders for the Lucha Underground title. The fight got thrown out, double DQ, and Antonio Cueto, the new owner and the promoter of Lucha Underground, the father of Dario Cueto, says, you know what? I liked the violence. I loved what you guys brought to the table. So this is what I'm going to do. On the next episode, you guys are going to be fighting with Pentagon Dark for the Lucha Underground title. A triple threat match. Okay, fine. Then in the main event, you had Cabra Moon Draga and Jeremiah Snake versus Drago, Phoenix, and Aerostar for the Lucha Underground Trios Championship. Basically, the Reptile Tribe won the match because Phoenix turned his back on the Lucha Super Friends. He turned his back on Drago, turned his back on Aerostar, and then turned his back on Melissa Santos. He pushed her to the ground. That brought El Dragon Azteca Jr. out to say, what are you doing? Because Phoenix is darker. He is more evil. What the hell happened to him? Well, we found out in spades what happened to him. First off, Phoenix fights Aerostar tonight. Now we're going into tonight's episode. Phoenix fights Aerostar one-on-one. Phoenix wins the match. After the fight was over, basically, it looked like he was going to attack Melissa Santos again. El Dragon Azteca Jr. comes out to save Melissa, but pays a price. Gets beaten up, left in a heap by Phoenix. This led to Antonio Cueto coming out, then announcing that there was a Gift of the Gods title fight, and the Gift of the Gods was in play as Marty the Moth Martinez makes his return to the temple and Lucha Underground. Marty the Moth Martinez is thus beating up on a prone, beaten up El Dragon Azteca Jr., captures the Gift of the Gods title. That becomes very important. We'll get to him in a minute. Next, Pentagon Dark fights King Cuerno and Mil Muertes. Three-way dance for the Lucha Underground Championship. Pentagon Dark wins the match. He wins the fight, successfully defends the title. After the match was over, Marty the Moth Martinez jumps in the ring, attacks Pentagon Dark, and leaves him in a heap. Antonio Cueto comes out and says, you know what? I'm about to do a change here. The rules are now brand new rules and brand new bylaws when it comes to the Gift of the Gods. Normally you have to wait a week to get the opportunity. The hell with it. I will issue it anytime, any place, anywhere to the befitting of the gift of the gods holder. Marty the Moth Martinez cashes it in right then and there, and with a little help from, it looked like that was Chelsea Green from formerly Laurel Van Ness of Impact Wrestling, Marty the Moth Martinez, the creepy bastard himself, is now Lucha Underground champion. Wow. What a crazy couple of weeks. And that's it, folks. that's your Lucha Underground. That's your Mikey's mindset for the night. I mean, yeah, it was that good, guys. It was that good. Probably one of the best episodes of all season long. Nothing more to say. We're going to get right into SmackDown Live because that's the reason why we do this show each and every week, to give you to give you the best professional wrestling in the world today. And man, all right. So we started it off with a promo segment. This was The Miz. He said he had a very special guest. His guest was Maurice. His guest was Maurice. They were basically hyping, talking about how great, what they did at the pay-per-view. And I got to give a lot of credit due to Anthony Florio for doing such a masterful job, and the ratings for the recap has been very good. So, Anthony, take a bow, and definitely a job well done, sir. You definitely held your end of the bargain, and you did a tremendous job hosting. I know Derek would be as I am. Due to my work commitments beyond my control, I was unable to do it on Sunday night, and he came in and, from all indications, did a tremendous job. So, Anthony, thank you. And more importantly, what happened was basically, they were talking about, the Hell in a Cell, and that he wanted it to take on, and that The Miz on Joe or AJ Styles, whoever was the WWE champion. And, they started talking about a whole bunch of other stuff. Well, here comes Daniel Bryan, and basically everything broke out, and Maurice got hurt. So Maurice went down. So basically, it was one of those type of moments. It was very interesting to see. Solid for what it was worth. Nothing too spectacular. I think we've seen better in our day, but at the end of the day, like I said, it was solid for what it was worth. It gives more fuel to the fire of the Daniel Bryan Miz's storyline, and that's something that I guess we can always say, that is definitely great about SmackDown Live storyline progression. But we'll wait and see what happens. I don't mind that Maurice sold the attack, or got sold the hit, and I kind of want to hear what Dee Dee Woodson has to say, because I know she got really upset about the Miz, putting his hands on Brie, but I wonder if she's gonna have the same reaction about this, because Maurice got roughed up. I want to know, what is his sentiments about it, but we'll see what happens. So, Anthony Floyo, why don't you come on in first and give me your thoughts?
All right. Well, first off, hey, how are you? Nice to see you. Anthony Floyo here for another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk. And yes, MF, it was my pleasure to fill in, because we're the best of friends. We're tag team partners. That's what we do. We help each other when we need. We're there for each other when we need to be. So I was more than happy to fill in for you when you had your work commitments beyond your control. And as of right now, 40 views, 40 views for that recap show. It's the most watched video I've had on my channel in quite some time. I can't remember the last time I had a view count that high. I mean, I'm usually averaging like 2, 3 a week, but to get 40 on that was awesome. So it's a testament to you fans. You are the best fans in the world, and we very much appreciate you tuning in for that the other night. Absolutely. As far as this opening thing goes, MF, well, I got to do my traditional thing. Well, I'll tell you, MF. I mean, pretty good opening segment. Miz and Maurice, they were really great heels here. They were great a-hole heels here. I mean, they felt that they tried to get I kind of felt they tried to get a little too cute at the end, but it did continue to build the Super Showdown and the big match that's coming up. Miz and Daniel Bryan one-on-one. It's a number one contenders match for the WWE Championship. So whoever wins this will be the next challenger for either AJ Styles or possibly the first challenger for Samoa Joe, if Samoa Joe should win the title. I don't know. We'll see. But it definitely will add even more excitement to this feud. And who knows? This match could be just as good, maybe even better than the SummerSlam match. You never know. I just hope there's no controversy. I just hope there's no nefarious means here. But we'll see what happens. But we'll find out soon enough. My gut's telling me Miz goes over because I think they're gonna want to keep the belt on AJ a little longer. And I think a Miz and AJ feud for the title would be really good. I really do. So no doubt about it. Like I said, this was to me the I probably would say this was probably the segment of the night because well, actually no, second best segment of the night. I beg your pardon, second best. There was one other segment I felt was better. You might know where I'm going with this, so that's all I'm gonna say here. So, Didi Woodson, MF asked the question. I mean, now we all remember Sunday night. You went on not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 rants. I got a feeling another one's in order here. I could be wrong.
No, I can't condone Daniel for putting his hands on Maurice because it's still not right for a guy to put his hands on a female, especially if it's not his own wife. But I also am not going to sit here and baby Maurice either, since part of that was just her play acting that she was hurt. But of course, she's trying to help set up Daniel Bryan. But no, I don't. I don't condone Daniel. I'm not going to be behind him on that. Although accidents happen. Normally, the females get out of the ring when the guys do this stuff. She did not get out of the ring. Therefore, part of this is her own fault. But, no, I'm not going to sit here and go on a 10-minute rant like I did or anything like I did Sunday. But no, I'm not going, I'm not going to say what Daniel did was right either. So, but this was a very good way to start off the show. Yes, a lot of storyline progression. Yes, a lot of lead ups for the show in Australia. So hopefully I answered your question, Fletch. So I'll toss it back to you.
Yeah, you answered it as good as you could. I mean, there's no problem with that. All right, so let's get into the first fight of the night. It was one member of the New Day, Kofi Kingston, the high flyer, going up against the Great Cesario. And when it was all said and done, the Swiss Superman gets the win. 8 minutes and 43 seconds. Anthony Florio, it is all yours, my friend. The Bar gets a leg up on the tag champs.
This was easily a solid 3 stars, MF. I mean, this was very good. Kofi, he sold the leg well, but more importantly, Cesaro won because the Bar getting a tag title shot really had no heat. It made no sense as they lost the tag tournament that just finished ahead of Hell in a Cell. But nonetheless, I would have liked to have seen more because these two guys, they're talented. I mean, this was a great matchup here. I mean, Cesaro with his strength, his power, and his technical scientific wrestling ability. Kofi Kingston with his high flying and aerial acrobatics. I mean, perfect mesh up here. And I had a feeling Cesaro was going to go over because, they're going to want to, because remember, there is history with the Bar and the New Day. Bar ended New Day's historic run, 483 days as Raw Tag Team Champions at the Roadblock End of the Line pay-per-view, December 2016. We all remember that. So, this is a great way to, get the ball rolling here because they'll be meeting at Super Showdown, Bar and New Day, for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. So we'll see what happens. But nonetheless, this was one of the top fights of the night. Not the fight of the night. Oh, no. Or as New Day would say, oh, no. Because one other match later in this show blew me away so much I'm not even here. That's all I'm going to say. So nothing more to say here. Solid 3 stars. No doubt about this. So Didi Woodson, great matchup here with Kofi's aerial acrobatics and Cesaro's power and scientific ability.
Oh yeah, this was a very good match. Another lead-in for the Australian pay-per-view. We all have said SmackDown's notorious for storyline progression, notorious for giving us these excellent matches and segments and stuff that just make you want to come back for more when it comes to leading up to big events like we have here coming up in a couple of weeks. Very well done. So yeah, I'm not going to say too much more about it. So Fletch, it's yours.
All right, and I totally agree with what you guys are saying. 3 stars, definitely a very solid fight. Whenever Kofi Kingston, even Cesaro is a proven guy. We all know how great he is. Kofi is just one of those guys that, when he first started out, he was a little green and everything else, but the high flying antics he did, especially some of and what makes him so unique is really when you get him in any type of ladder match or battle royale or even like a Royal Rumble, that's where Kofi shines. He just that's really his best ammo. But being the member of the New Day and what he's been doing for a number of years, he's still been kicking butt and everything else. But Cesaro, man, big win for him, and no doubt about it, definitely he's proven to be a commodity. And the next thing we have is a match that was highly coveted during the week for the United States Heavyweight Championship. The champion, Shinsuke Nakamura, puts the title on the line against Rusev, the winner of the bout, in 11 minutes and 38 seconds, and still the United States Heavyweight Champion, the artist formerly known as Shinsuke Nakamura, the King of the Strong Style, wins it. However, there was one other bit of news that needs to come out. Once the fight was over, Aiden English jumps Rusev with the microphone and repeatedly beats the living daylights out of him. That's right, guys. It's Aiden English who turns heel and betrays Rusev Day. On Rusev and Lana. If looks could kill, Lana was ticked, and if Rusev comes around, yeah, I think a Bulgarian is about to want to do a mashka kick and crush the man who is known, of course, on Anthony Florio's mind as the Pavarotti or the Robert Goulet of the WWE. But we can't get to Florio yet because it's Didi Woodson's turn. So, Didi, give us your thoughts about the the heel turn, and more importantly, the United States heavyweight title fight. Good fight, decent match.
Yeah, it was. And technically, with this one, you kind of have to go back to the backstage segment that was on right after, the Cesaro Kofi match, because he's there apologizing for the pay per view and everything, and then as Lana and Rusev are walking away, he's yelling at a stagehand, blaming it all on Lana, and she overhears. Then you have another segment a little bit later, right before the match, where she's trying to tell Rusev or warn him before the match, and didn't get a chance to. And of course, that leads to Rusev asking Aiden to go out and introduce him and do the little song and everything. Which, by the way, my hometown. And yeah, I know some of the faces that I saw around ringside. So yay! Um, I'll give a I'll give one shout out for one guy that he showed me some pictures that he took because he was front row by the ramp. So hi, Robert. Okay, getting back to that. Match, very very good match. I mean, up till um Aiden decides to get on the mic and kind of be a distraction, telling Rusev to do this, this, and this, and whatsoever. So I'm going to give it about 2 3/4 of a star for the match. I'm not surprised Nakamura won it. I don't think it's his time to lose it yet, although he has had it for quite some time. So after the match, not surprised that Aiden attacked either. So not much more I have to say about it. I'll toss it back to you.
We were wondering who was going to be the one to turn heel, and it ended up being Aiden English. So maybe this is better for all of us because everybody knows Rusev is so over with the Rusev Day and everything else going on, and I guess that means they're also going to turn Lana face as well. So you got Lana as a face, you got Rusev as a face, definitely a good thing. Aiden English turns the heel, gets the heel turn, so we'll see what happens with that. And as far as the fight goes, yeah, I agree with Didi Woodson's rating. I could give this 2 3/4 of a star. This was a solid fight, good matchup. Yeah, I think the ending could have been a lot more better, but they had plenty of time. Good TV quality type fight, and I really got nothing bad to say about it. So, Anthony Floyo, it's all yours.
Yeah, 3 stars. I'm gonna give this another 3. I would say second best fight of the night by a smidge. Between 3 and 3 1/4, I think. Another very good match. It was missing something a little bit, I felt, but the finish was a bit flat, but it also worked well for the heel turn. I'm very curious to see how much of a chance they will give Aiden English on his own. We've been very critical of some recent turns. First and foremost, the Becky Lynch turn. We were very, very critical about that because the fans just adore her, and we'll get more into that later. And then, of course, on the Raw side of things, when they turned Braun Strowman heel, because you saw how super over he was getting as a babyface, but no, they had to turn him just so they could, keep getting Roman over as a babyface, which is never going to happen. Let's not kid ourselves. But anywho, this is the one turn they actually got right, because Rusev has been mega over for how long now? Several months, ever since this whole Rusev Day thing started. I mean, they definitely turned the right one heel here. I mean, Aiden English is so much better as a heel anyway. I mean, going back to his days with the Vaudevillains, I mean, they were heels for the most part. Turned face briefly in NXT, had a nice little feel-good moment at the first NXT Brooklyn. We all remember that. And, of course, now turning him heel, I think hopefully will do some wonders for him. I mean, he's a good talent, but he just needs some more seasoning before he can be anything special. So unlike the recent turns of Becky Lynch and Braun Strowman, which I'm still criticizing to this day, this is the one turn they actually got right. They actually got this one right. Absolutely. Nothing more to say here, MF. Let's move on.
All right, guys. And the next thing that we had on the show, well, I think this is the one that Anthony is going to be talking about, that he's gone and we're probably not going to get him back for the rest of the night. AJ Styles, the WWE champion, goes one-on-one with Andrade Cien Almas, the winner of the bout. 14 minutes, 51 seconds. Was the phenomenal AJ Styles, and then a post-fight beatdown, an attack by Samoa Joe to try to get the leg up on AJ, but no, AJ turns the tables on Joe and forces Joe into the retreat and making him run into the crowd. Oh my word. I mean, clearly fight of the night. 3.5 to 3 3/4. You might make an argument for 4, but this was unbelievable, man. This was a really good fight, really good match. Solid from beginning to end. Andrade Cien Almas. I'm going to tell you guys, WWE management and Vince McMahon has been very high on him lately. Now you know why. El Ídolo. Man, he's been nothing but tranquilo lately in the ring, and I've loved what I've seen from him. And like I said it once, I say it again, this guy is championship material. Whoever's the writer, the lead guy for SmackDown Live, if that's Shane McMahon, if that's Road Dogg Jesse James, Vince, Trips, whoever, guys, you got yourself a commodity. 3rd generation luchador from Mexico, and he is fastly rising up in WWE, man. This guy deserves the belt in 2019. Done. Nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, it's yours.
I'm pulling it. 4 stars. This was 4 stars easy. I mean, I only wish Michael Bullock was here because, we would have had our little funny moment because our favorite SmackDown Live refereed this match, Mr. Danilo Anfibio. And, oh boy, did he have a great one on. I mean, we thought the match they had in July was great, but this one was even better. I honestly wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if the sequel was going to be better than the original. 9 times out of 10, it usually isn't. But this is the one time where the sequel was actually better than the original. I mean, I only have one small little nitpick here, and that is, why wasn't this for the title? This should have been a championship match as far as I'm concerned. But, that's a story for another day. But I agree 100% with MF. I'm hopeful that sometime in 2019 that Andrade Cien Almas will get a run as the WWE champion. It was his first match with AJ back in July that caught the eye of Vinnie Mac and the Suits. They were so impressed that I read some dirt sheets saying that Almas was in line for a push. And after seeing this match, you better put that rocket pack on him very soon. That's all I can say on that. A very good, bordering on incredible match with Almas getting a lot in before finally falling to AJ, and then the post-match stuff with Samoa Joe. I mean, goodness gracious, that was incredible as well. So everything about this was unbelievable, and I can understand why they had the segment that they had for the main event, but in all honesty, I was kind of hoping this would have been the main event. This would have been a great way to close the show, honestly. But other than that, well done. Well done. This had the feel of a championship match, even though it wasn't. There's a part of me that thinks it should have been, but, it is what it is. So, well done. Well done, both men. Very well done. That was the TV fight of the week right there. So, there's nothing more to say on this. Forget the 3 3/4 stuff. I'm pulling the trigger solid 4. Like I said, they blew me away last night. I'm not even here. Nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, what a match.
Very much so. What a match. Yeah, this was just. I'm not gonna say it's as good as the first one they had, but it was very good. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the 4 stars on it. I mean, even after the match with Joe coming out, I mean that was pretty good too. I mean, it's continuing the feud between the two of them, and setting up for the next match between the two of them. The little backstage interview, AJ almost admitted that yes, he did tap out. But it was like a little miracle that the ref didn't see him actually tap out. So yeah, I mean it was very well done. So I'm not gonna say too much more. So Fletch, let's go on.
All right, and we now go into well, unfortunately, this is the only and lone cutout of the evening, as it was Asuka going one-on-one with Iconics member Billy Kay, and Asuka wins the match in 3 minutes and 19 seconds. It was decent for what it was worth, but not really too high on this rivalry. But I will say this. I heard a rumor that they are setting up a tag team fight to have Naomi and Asuka against the Iconics at the Super Showdown in Australia. Uh-oh, that's Iconics turf. That is the Iconics home turf. So I kinda got a feeling this is actually going to be one of those bizarro world moments where the Iconics are going to get the hero's welcome. And I think at that night, they might get the victory. We'll wait and see what happens there. But as far as this goes, nothing amazing, nothing to talk about. And then, yeah, we do have the main event of the evening, which was the SmackDown women's presentation, the championship presentation, as you got to witness the crowning as Paige presents the newly crowned belt, the newly won title to the champion. That was actually to Becky Lynch. And yeah, this was a very good segment. Of course, they wanted it to get Charlotte Flair out, so she did come out. Charlotte basically saying that, you know what, congratulations, yeah, you did win the belt. But then basically, well, you could say, that, you got the belt, you got your hand raised, whatever, but I'm going to get my rematch, and I'm going to do it at the Super Showdown when I fight you for the belt in Australia in front of 60,000 people, and they're going to see me get the belt back and win the title, much to the chagrin of all the fans at the arena last night. I kind of rolled my eyes on that. And, it got to the point where, she just wanted the respect and told her to skip all that and just called her queen. But then Charlotte's like, you know what? You're never going to be a queen. So Becky kind of gave her a 5-letter word. Started with a B. Normally reminds as a witch. Well, can't disagree with that. Sorry. Gonna be the kind of have to be a little bit of the Corey Graves, but a little Corey Graves, not much. But it did turn into a brouhaha, led into a cat fight, and at the end of the night, Becky Lynch walking tall as the SmackDown Women's Champion. So yeah, it kind of was the infamous Scott Steiner in TNA or maybe WCW. Charlotte go out there and try to get the sympathy of the people. Well, you ain't getting any sympathy at all. So, nothing more to say. Who goes for this? Is this Anthony? Is this yours, or is this Dee Dee's?
It's Anthony's.
It's
all
me,
right,
yeah,
so it is you.
I'll take it.
All right, bro. Go ahead. It's yours.
Segment of the night, hands down. I mean, this was a great way to end it. I mean, like I said, for me, I would have preferred this maybe start the second hour, if I'm going to be real honest, because I think Styles and Almas should have main evented this show, to be quite honest. But, at the same time, I am all for them giving the women the main event spot. You know me. I mean, I love the opportunity, but anywho, they are, like I said, they're determined to make Becky the heel here. Her stuff was good, but the fans, they're not buying it, man. They love her too much. I mean, I didn't think Tulsa, Oklahoma. I didn't think Tulsa, Oklahoma was an IWC hotspot. It really isn't. But I guess the IWC travels in packs, I guess. So we all know she is the darling of the IWC. And, of course, MF's favorite. And what I would have given to have had him on the show the other night when we did the recap, because I'm sure MF would have been, gushing over Becky winning the title, because I know how much he loves Becky Lynch. But, I mean, and you said it, MF, Charlotte, she does not come off as a sympathetic babyface in any way. I mean, they dropped the ball here, like I said. I mean, they got the English and Rusev thing right. They got that 100% right. But they messed this up so badly. Charlotte is so much better as a heel. Becky is so much better as a babyface. I mean, the fans love Becky way more. I hate to say it, but Charlotte's starting to get the John Cena and Roman Reigns treatment. And I feel bad for her because she is a damn good wrestler. We all know. We all know she is world class when it comes to her abilities. I mean, I don't understand why the fans, just, I don't know. And it's also you know me. I'm also a huge Charlotte mark. You know me. I've been a fan of her since day one. So, but it is what it is. So, I mean, I like the idea of Becky as a heel. I mean, it is refreshing. You know how I like to, freshen things up. And I mean, I'm all for it personally, but at the same time, I mean, I have to say they dropped the ball here because it's the fans. The fans are taking this hostage. They just love Becky too much. That's all there is to it. So, I don't know. But overall, though, this was a phenomenal segment. I mean, the fire they both showed was great. Get me to Australia right now. I cannot wait for Super Showdown. This is going to be a phenomenal match. I mean, they had a great match Sunday night at Hell in a Cell. I think it could be just as good, maybe even better. Who knows? So, nothing more to say here. This was a segment of the night. Well done. Nothing more to say. So, Dee Dee, anything you want to add to that?
Well, it definitely was the segment of the night. And no, normally, Tulsa isn't one of the IWC cities, but definitely last night they definitely showed that they could be, as much as they backed Becky in this whole thing. So yeah, I mean, we pretty much kind of bookend the SmackDown or last night. So I mean, that was with two fairly good segments. So yeah, I'm all game with what went down. So yeah, definitely good segment, definitely storyline progression, and can't wait to see what these two do when they get to Australia. So Fletch, it's yours.
It's time for the overall review. Dee Dee Whitson, you lead off, my dear.
I'm going to give this probably about 7.5 to 8. I mean, it was a very good show. Not very many low points. The lowest one being the main event with Asuka and are iconic, which since they've come up to SmackDown have not really impressed me much. So um, they got a lot of work there to impress me, because pretty much right now all I'm seeing is two Bopsy twins standing out there spouting out garbage, because they certainly, don't seem to know what they're. WWE has them seeming like they don't know what they're doing, and I know from NXT these two girls could actually wrestle. So let's get them out there actually doing something instead of playing these little childish games that they seem to love to have the NXT kids do when they come up. But yeah, as usual, very storyline progressive show, very much, moving forward technically with both pay-per-views that's coming up here in October, that, we've kind of progressed a little bit in both of them, giving you little tidbits and teasings for both of them. And so there's not much bad to actually say about SmackDown. They did what they always do. They prove that they know what they're doing, and if you haven't seen the show, there's not much that I think any of us can really tell you not to watch, other than the main event match, because it just was very lackluster. So that's all I have to say about it. So Flights, it's yours.
7.5 to 8 out of 10. I totally agree. She definitely nailed it around the head, guys. And, SmackDown Live just continues the run. They just know what they're doing. The formula is great. It's not excruciating. There's no, there was maybe one or two plot points where it was not so great. But other than that, solid, phenomenal. Everything came together really well. At the end of the day, congratulations, SmackDown Live. You won yet again over Monday Night Raw. Anthony Florio, a quick thought, and then we'll just call it a night.
Yeah, 8. I think 8 out of 10 is right. I can make an argument for higher, because, nothing on this show was bad. There was only one piece of bad on this show, and that was Asuka and Billie Kay. Other than that, everything else was solid to good to great. So, yeah, SmackDown wins again. What else is new? This has been the theme ever since the Superstar Shakeup 5 months ago. It's been all SmackDown Live. Raw's had, they've had good weeks here and there, but let's not kid ourselves. SmackDown Live right now, as much as it pains me to say this, is the A show right now. It's the must-see show right now. Monday Night Raw, well, it's a dumpster fire right now. And it's going to be a dumpster fire until they get ready to put their big boy pants on and actually put some good shows on for a change. So that's all I can say there. So, anywho, SmackDown did it again. If you're pressed for time, I'll say it like this. There's only one thing you need to fast forward through, and that is the Asuka and Billie Kay. Unless you're a fan of them, then okay. But other than that, go out of your way to watch this show. This was really well done. Both in-ring segments were great. All the matches except for that one were solid to good to great. So, MF, be proud, man. Your show's the A show right now, and my show, well, it continues to be a grease fire nowadays. So, but I'm hoping that on October 22nd, when we go to Monday Night Raw at the Dunk, I'm hoping that they give us a good show. So help me if they don't. Nothing more to say here. MF, let's just, actually, we can't put a bow on this thing because I've got some business to attend to. So,
and actually, I want you to attend that business right now. It's all yours.
Yes. What time is good for you tomorrow night for College Football Thursday, MF?
10:30.
I figured. Okay. So 10:30 tomorrow night, College Football Thursday, 21 matchups. I can honestly say it's not one of the more exciting week of matchups, but we do have some good ones. Of course, the game of the week, honest to goodness, it's got to be Stanford and Oregon. I mean, that's the money game right there. That's definitely the one we're going to get into. Of course, we'll have our power poll. I know there's probably going to be some more fireworks during that. So we'll see there. And then Friday, of course, same time for NFL Friday. I mean, some exciting stuff to get into on that. Some good matchups to look forward to in week 3. And then, of course, power rankings. Hopefully we can do that this time. Hopefully we've had an extra week to think about things. And that's pretty much it, because we're off for the weekend, and then we're right back at it on Monday for Ridiculously Raw. So, which I'm praying is a good show, but let's not kid ourselves. It's gonna be blech, as always. So that's pretty much it, MF. So tomorrow night, College Football Thursday. Be here or be square. So until then, bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Thursday. And for everybody who's been a part of this one, bye for now. MF, wrap it up.
All right. Thank you, Dee Woodson. Thank you, Anthony Floyo, as always. And we hope you guys had a wonderful evening. Like the video, send a comment, share it with all your friends on all the social media platforms. Have a good night, everybody, and so long for now. Bye-bye.